Well, here we are. We have arrived at the point of the year where we are deep into no football. We do have some fish coming, but it's still a couple of weeks ago. But then I'm already eyeballing after those fish shows. What are we going to do through March leading up to April at the Sphere? I will say the way their schedule is working out this year, there's not any of those real big gaps. There's not anything like New Year's Eve until June with no fish. So luckily, every year we're going to have Mexico. I don't know if Vegas at the Sphere will become a regular thing. We'll see if everybody makes it out alive. That will be a good sign. And from what I can tell, that like I know people aren't happy about ticket prices, but the only other event I know going on there is the UFC plans on being there in September for Mexican Independence Day, and they are talking a lot about the cost. Not necessarily the cost to the fans, which they don't even want to talk about what it's going to cost the fans at this point, but more so just how expensive it is to put on an event there. Like, the president's all excited about it, and he was like, the CFO does not want us going to the Sphere. So keep that in mind, whatever Phish does. And when you're complaining about ticket prices, remember, it's probably not going to be cheap, whatever they do on their end. And then on top of that, if they never go back and you never get your chance, remember, it's because you complained about ticket prices. And yes, I'm aware that Classic Tab is going to go on tour, and they are making a tour stop here in Ohio. But unfortunately, Cleveland is not. I know it's in Ohio, but there are many places, cities in many states that I could get to quicker than I could get to Cleveland. If you're not familiar with the Ohio setup, Dayton is at one corner down by Kentucky, basically, and then Cleveland's up in the other corner, up there by that big lake. So it's quite a hike to get up there. And, I'm not super excited about a Classic Tab. I'm not like a hater of Trey's band or anything, but I've seen him a time or two, and I don't know, I didn't ever actually see the classic lineup, I don't think. Could be wrong about that. I know I saw that Trey's like 70-volt parade back in '05 or '06. That was something else. Then I saw a solo acoustic Trey. See, that was more like it. He came right here to Dayton, Ohio. It was good stuff. And then, you know, speaking of, I was just complaining about ticket prices, but boy, those King Gizzard tickets much more affordable if you got to buy two. Oh, and I commented in that previous Mexico video that it just kind of didn't feel like a oh, look at that, the longest yard, huh? The longest yard popping up on my, as I was talking to somebody last night about bad football movies, and that was one that came up, and now here it is on my YouTube suggestions. Dun 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 dun. See here, I was having a little text exchange with Professor Joe LaRocca, YouTuber some of you may know, and we got to talking about bad football movies. I sent some very inappropriate texts too, and here, we're worried about the NSA watching, and actually, it's just Google. Although they'll get you too, I suppose. Sorry about that, Joe. I was like, that got me thinking too. I got invited, some fan invited me to the Trey show. It's like, you don't want to invite me to shows. The problem is, if you get me to go to a show with you, you have a friend for life, whether if you want it or not. And, I don't really turn this off. You might be a year or two down the road and sending me a text message. And then all of a sudden you're worried the FBI is going to show up at your door because of something I said to you. So just keep that in mind when you invite me to a show. You're like, all right, it might be cool to hang out with that guy for a night, but do I really want him in my life indefinitely? You don't. Man, look at this. Finally, we got a cat coming in. We're about 4 minutes in. We got a little cat scratch fever at the door. All right, so enough of that. I was trying to say the Mexico thing. And now look, I know it's hard for me to say a guy who has never been there and just sits on couch tour. And I heard from exactly one person that was like, no, 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 you're wrong. And I don't want to disagree too hardly with that guy, but it just feels like I only heard one person say it, okay? I make the bold statement as someone who's never been there. It's like, this just isn't Phish, all right? I didn't get hit with an army of people going, no, 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 not so fast. And I have seen footage, and I'm not talking about the webcast. Even the webcast, it doesn't look normal. But it just, I don't know. It's not that it's bad or anything. This isn't like, I don't know. I think maybe the guy seemed a little bit like he took a little bit of offense to me saying it's not like a normal Phish run. And I think he said he had been 3 or 4 times. He's 10K plus in the hole at this point. So, of course, he's like, this is the greatest Phish. I don't know. I don't know. But I will admit, I've absolutely never been down there. So what do I know? but I do have eyes, and there is the internet, and there are other people. Kind of outnumbered, man. I don't think it's the same. If it is for you, though, great. All right, I really don't have anything today. Let's see. I guess the thing today is I don't have anything. How's that?